So yeah, we're live now.
I didn't wear my cool sunglasses.
Oh shit! Oh, hello, Rudy. Want to know why I'm wearing these sunglasses?
Yes. Why?
I saw some polls.
Uh-huh.
And the polls were bright. So
Is the future so bright that you have to wear shades? Is that what's happening?
what's up? Yeah, Fred's already asking about the FBI press conference. We got to get the gratitudes before the news takes over. As usual,
Yep.
There's a bit of news. Just a
little bit.
I was catching a bunch of polls last night and this morning, and yep.
So what are you grateful for?
The polls. Probably the two polls that struck out the most that I am the most legitimately grateful for are the polls among the elderly, meaning, of course, that they have some vestige of self-interest left, because there's a current president who does not give a fuck if they die tomorrow, like at all. So they realize that, which is good. And even like some white people are like, nah. Like Biden is up among white people nationally by 1%, which if you look at historic polls, that's stupid. Like that's not how any of this is supposed to work. So yeah, I'm grateful for those. I'm grateful that I did a fast yesterday that worked out well and managed to survive that. I'm grateful that Greg is going to get squadrons one way or another, and we're gonna he's going to teach me how to dogfight better because I suck nards at it. And I'm grateful that there's 19 people here already, and that people are throwing some gratitudes in the comments, because that just makes me feel good about the universe when you guys.
Yeah, I put it in the comments. Please share. Would love it if you would share the feed out to your social media.
We would love that.
We'd like that. We get new people. There's some of you that we got that way. So
it's true.
Yeah, I mean, it would be nice to think that just our inherent charm and wit would draw people to us, but sometimes it takes a village to raise an idiot. Yeah,
or two. a combined idiotic duopoly.
Right.
That's where we're at.
Well, between us, we make a pretty good idiot. So
I think so. Like a good, solid, average moron.
The stupid in me honors the wacko in you.
There you go. It's a beautiful combination.
Yeah. I'm grateful for voter turnout.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
The number I saw this morning from our friend John Nestler is that 5.7 million people have voted so far. It may be closer to 7 million by today.
Let me see if I can pull that picture up.
The contrast between voter turnout now compared to 2016 is extraordinary. Yeah. And, understanding that some of those are, Trump voters, but not nearly as many of them is my guess. The ratio of Democratic early ballots turned in to Republican ballots turned in Florida, at least, is 2.5 to 1, which is a pretty good ratio. So what happened?
Sorry. I keep pressing the wrong button like a crazy person.
Yeah. So I'm just grateful for voter turnout today. This is what we've been working for.
The gold line is this year.
Yeah. And the blue line is 2016.
Yeah. That's those are not the same.
Nope. There's a bit of a stark contrast there.
Yeah. It's like legit 10 to 1. So that's kind of fun.
Thank you, Ash. Yeah, I saw that. Thank you very much for giving us a shout out on your robust platform this morning. We appreciate that.
Indeed.
Jareen is grateful. Coffee baby is healthy. 10 fingers, 10 toes. Mama is healthy too. Also, I hope you still have 10 fingers and 10 toes, because that would be a weird pregnancy side effect that would not be great.
This is why we get paid the big bucks.
That's right.
I hope you still have
why.
your pregnancy fingers. What?
Man, way to make it weird. Me, yeah. Like we said, between us, we make one pretty good idiot.
Nailed it.
So weird things happening. Stephen Miller has coronavirus.
Did you see? I think it might have been Bo, the fifth column, had it up that like, hey, there's some people in my comments that are saying that it's weird that I've gone from saying that no human being should get COVID to celebrating Stephen Miller's getting COVID, and I don't see any reason why. I'm paraphrasing. He's not human. It's a subtext, and I think.
So in the thread that I put up about that, plus you making puns this morning, Virginia posted a video by Bob Acosta, or Robert Costa, I can't remember which of them. Anyways, video from about 4 a.m. this morning of a raccoon on the White House lawn. Things are just getting weirder. But frankly, there is a lot of trash in the White House, so I can see why raccoons would be drawn to it. And then Jen Rakita asked, what happens if you get rabies and COVID? And I said, Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller is what happens when you get rabies and COVID at the same time. So,
I have to share this meme from because it's just my face, except a lady and infinitely hotter.
Who I feel bad for are the people that work in the White House that don't have anything to do with the politics of this administration.
Yep.
There are probably 200 to 300 staffers, and not just political staffers, not just operational staffers, but cooks, housekeepers, drivers, lawn maintenance personnel, all of them exposed when President Kovita took his mask off the other night on the balcony. So there's that. Can you show that? Did you cue that up?
I can very easily.
Yeah. So Patti LuPone is the singer that played Evita on Broadway. She is now 73 years old, and she recorded a little something for us for the Lincoln Project yesterday, which Corey's, I think, hopefully going to play.
Working on it. All right.
And yes, that's actually her.
Playing the horns?
Yep.
Okay.
Don't cry for me, White House staffers.
Oh, no.
The truth is, I will infect you.
Wow.
All through my tweeting, my mad existence. I broke my promise, won't keep my distance. I always say too much, never mind the thousands of lies I have told to you. As for wearing masks and acting sane, that is nothing that I will ever do. So don't cry for me, Secret Service. Though COVID might just well kill you, while on my joyride I spread the virus. I broke my promise, won't keep my distance.
What a fucking buffoon.
The Lincoln Project is responsible.
I love the coughing.
Yeah, that was good. Did you see? Apparently, Giuliani was trying to make some Biden hit piece on Fox News and couldn't stop coughing to save his own life.
Yes, I saw that, and it reminded me of The Stand.
Right?
In Stephen King's The Stand, there's a news guy who's talking about how there's no problem, everything's fine, and he goes into an uncontrolled coughing fit while he's on the air. Yeah, I wanted to comment on that. Corey Elko, one of the Secret Service guys, said we aren't expendable. They never, ever speak out about their
if anything,
details.
they would say they are expendable and fuck you. Like that's
right.
You know what I mean?
I've never imagined that they would be speaking out. It's more than one. It was several Secret Service agents that expressed their anger and horror at what's going on. President trips.
President trips.
Oof. Well, I'm glad this is a 1 to 2% fatality disease, not a 98.9%
Jeez.
fatality disease.
And seriously, like the next one could be 50. But hey, it's okay as long as it only kills the 50% of the oldest people, or it's maybe just the poor's. Who knows?
Yeah, we keep coming back to the stand this year, don't we? I mean, I wouldn't have expected a disease vector this. I can't possibly say benign, but nothing like what is described in Captain Trips causing us this much national destruction. But here we are. Yeah, this RN is so fed up. Thank you, Diane, for doing what you do. It cannot be easy to keep showing up at a medical facility. Yeah, I love you. Thank you. Why does the Secret Service work under the Treasury Department? I don't remember why it started that way, but it started right after the Civil War, I believe, or during the Civil War. So I don't know why they would put it under Treasury. Yeah. Which is why they're also responsible for pursuing counterfeiting.
The 30th. When did he finally have to admit that he was infected? Because it was at least 48 hours after they knew, because they had that quick test.
It was Thursday, so the first?
The first?
First or second, yeah.
When he announced it. Okay, so on the 30th, 13 employees at a restaurant in Minneapolis are in quarantine after catering a party attended by Mr. Trump.
And by the way, the entire Joint Chiefs of Staff.
Which is crazy.
That's not good.
Crazy.
That's not okay. Yeah. Yeah, his tweet when he exited the hospital, he took a class in COVID, now he's immune. No, that's not how any of this works. By the way, taking hydroxychloroquine did not make him immune. So thanks, April and May, President Trump, for fucking up the lives of a number of people that took you seriously. Yeah.
There's the video that he released on October 5th. I've seen a few people post this, that it looks like a deep fake.
Interesting.
I'd love to see, because like Microsoft is supposed to be putting out some, and there's other people that are supposed to be putting out some analyzers. I'd love to see some people start analyzing these things to see if they can't do it. Because we're going to have to now. I mean, especially if he keeps getting sicker, they'll definitely go to that.
Yep. And the White House is holding a pre-sale for Trump beat coronavirus commemorative coins, Corey. Yeah. I think those will actually have value when he dies from it. You'll want to have one of those.
Right?
He's like having the Dewey Beats Truman headline newspaper. Or the upside down Jenny postage stamp. So,
right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hey, what about that the dude? I'm sorry. I can't remember his name right now. Olbermann.
Keith Olbermann is coming back to politics. Which makes me a very happy, deep-voiced pundit. Because he's my hero in that regard. Way, way smarter than me. Very outspoken, amazing, angry pundit, and it's good to have him back.
It's time for it. His rants were some of the most ridiculous ever on MSNBC.
And what he's going to be doing is just every day he's going to do a worst person in the world. Again, specifically about Donald J. Trump. That's the plan. Apparently, it's just a 4-minute rant about Donald J. Trump every day for the next 30 days.
I think especially if it's under 5 minutes. I don't even think YouTube gets mad if we play all of that. So that might become a staple of the show. Just saying.
Yeah.
I
mean,
he
the
really
only thing that
paved
could
the
make
way.
this news better would be that he and Jon Stewart were sharing time. But I don't think John's coming back.
I mean, I get it, but I really wish you would.
Virginia, the baseball guy. Yes, the baseball guy, Keith Olbermann.
Yes.
That's the one. Yeah, ESPN released him. He wanted to get back into politics. They have a strict policy about people that work for ESPN not making political statements. So he's been negotiating with them for a couple of months now, and finally got his freedom papers. So he's this afternoon he has a YouTube channel, Keith Olbermann on YouTube, and he's gonna be putting up a daily rant for us. So
Starting at 5
we
o'clock
can
today.
retire now. If Olbermann's back,
Yeah.
we can just we can hang it up now.
Well, I still remember distinctly how fucked up it was when he started getting all antsy-pantsy at MSNBC.
Yeah.
And him flaming out, which he completely did, paved the way for a certain Rachel Maddow to get her spot. And now I am remembering how old I am, because I think that was 9 years ago. When did all that happen? How did I get this old, Craig? It's fucking stupid.
I know. I was just remembering that. Look, the Daily Show originally wasn't very good, and it wasn't Jon Stewart.
remember.
Either. It was one of the former ESPN guys. Now that I'm thinking about, I can't remember which one now. What's his name? The blonde smartass. I can't remember his name. But anyway, it wasn't Jon Stewart, and it wasn't a very good show. And then John came aboard, and it was kind of. And then all of a sudden, they turned some sort of magical corner, and the show was can't miss. You know, the best news on television was a comedy show, which should tell you a lot about the times we were living in.
Yeah, amen to that. Why they got rid of Olbermann, Corey? He started fucking raging out at literally everyone, and it was gross. He was done. He didn't care anymore, and just started being an asshole to everybody. Sherry, actually, Virginia, Ginny posted this to our message thread as well. Federal appeals court rules Trump cannot block state grand jury subpoena for his tax returns, wholly dismissing his legal challenges having no basis for reversal. The court dismissed the lawsuit with prejudice, which means he cannot revive it on these grounds. And again, he's just trying to play with the clock, right?
Right.
So yeah.
No, I don't think it was Ryan Seacrest. Hang on. First host of the Daily Show. Craig Kilborn is who was the original host. Yeah, I knew it was one of the blonde smartasses from ESPN. I just couldn't remember which one. So there. Yeah, the clip of Trump struggling to breathe when he jogged up the steps the other night was telling, wasn't it? He looked perfectly fine. And it absolutely the steroids talking when he said, "Oh yeah, I feel better than I have in 20 years." That's the steroids. That's what they do. So, yeah. So what else is new, Corey? Did you hear Stephen Miller has COVID?
I did, which means it can also infect demons.
Oh man, I saw a tweet yesterday that said something along the lines of, "Yes, we all want to laugh about Stephen Miller being positive for COVID, but if you own a Nazi memorabilia shop or a sex doll brothel in Washington D.C., you should probably get tested."
I think it was mentioned in the comments or in one of our threads. Cook Political Report moves Lindsey Graham Senate race to a toss-up. Fuck you, Lindsey Graham. That's what I have to say about
Mike
that.
Espy is gaining ground in I can't believe I'm going to say this out loud, in his Mississippi Senate race. He would be the first African American senator in Mississippi since the 1880s. So that's a cool thing that's happening.
I would love to see some recent polls.
Yesterday, the Trump campaign pulled all of its TV ads from Iowa and Ohio. And Ohio is a toss-up state.
Yeah, that to me, like,
they're out of money. They're gonna,
right.
This is a gamble for them that they're going to win those states anyway.
Right, presuming that just by luck and happenstance they'll win there, or by stealing it, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh my God. In March, Hyde Smith, the Republican in Mississippi, was up 26 points. At the end of August, guess how much Hyde Smith is up by?
I think it's 2.
It's fucking 1.
Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
So swing.
Oh, by the way,
swing.
everybody got very upset yesterday when the president announced he was pulling his negotiators out of the stimulus discussion. And then the stock market went down by 350 points. And by 10 o'clock last night, he went, certain parts of the stimulus are okay. So he completely backed away from it as soon as the stock market started to have a negative reaction to that news. because the stock market is the economy, Corey, as we all know.
Did you see that one thread? It was one of the crypto / trader guys that I follow on Twitter. He's really, really awesome. He posted the breakdown of the tweets correlated with price, and all he said is markets. Because
Yeah.
that's not how any of this is supposed to work.
Fred, yeah, let's talk about that for a couple minutes. The 11 o'clock press conference. By the way, we have to find a feed for it, but we intend to carry that live. Stay
I
on
already
the
did.
air.
We're ready.
You got it. Okay, so we're going to carry that presser live. There was some speculation this morning. It's about election security because there's some issues there. You might have heard that it's possible that some foreign power, possibly, might be trying to fuck with our election. I don't know. It's weird and a long shot, but it could happen. But then subsequently, I saw a story that two of the ISIS terrorists that I believe were being referred to as the Beatles because they were from Britain. They were British ISIS members who had executed a bunch of people, including some Americans. Two of them are coming to America to stand trial. So it's possible this is because it's a matter of national security, is what they said about this press briefing. It has to do with the threat of ISIS terrorism related to that. And Corey and I were like, "Oh, ISIS."
Yeah.
Serious, yeah, but like 12th or 15th on the list of things that indicate that our country is literally on fucking fire. So I don't know what to say about that. Trump is insisting that it's going to be about Hillary.
Whatever.
Yeah, he was rage tweeting last night about reopening the investigation into Hillary Clinton and blah 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 blah. And I'm sure Christopher Wray is like, dude, please just stop. Dude, will you please just shut up, man?
I think Arizona just swung. It did. That's interesting. It's
apparently
been like
Mark
super
Kelly
toss up, but go ahead,
Mark Kelly just flat murdered Martha McSally in the debate last night.
Nice.
Yeah,
Nice. That I wonder if that's having an effect. And I don't think the last polls that came in
would reflect that, right?
Well, no, they wouldn't because it was last night. But yeah, the one that was run from the first to the third, Biden's up by 8 in Arizona.
Wait, Sherry, there's rumors that who is resigning? Christopher Wray.
That wouldn't surprise me because like he's
It's
out,
a bad time for that, Chris Wray. Please stick around for another 30 days, please.
right? So speaking of Iowa,
Yes, go on.
Pure toss up. I mean, we're down
That's
by
incredible, man.
We're down by a little bit less than 1.
When's the last time an incumbent president wasn't clearly in the lead in Iowa at election time?
I don't
You know what I mean? I mean, they're so stable.
And all the way through June to August, the average was Trump +7. So that just swung. So yeah, you should probably take your money out of there because obviously.
Yeah, apparently the moderator couldn't make McSally say she supported Donald Trump last night. She like evaded the question 5 times.
Wait a minute. I think the Lincoln Project did a video on that. They did. Hello.
Nice.
Let me see if I can find that.
That'd be good. Yeah, Deb says no way Ray resigns. Yeah, I don't know.
I hope not.
There you go. It won't be Ray resigning because there will be more than just him scheduled to speak. That's true. There's several national security officials speaking. So, yeah, I think Carter would be the last time an incumbent did not get George H.W. Bush. Actually,
H-Dub himself. Let's check this out.
Are you proud of your support for President Trump?
I'm proud to be fighting for Arizona every single day.
Is that
No.
a yes or a no for President
Putting
Trump?
legislation on President Trump's desk.
So you're proud of your support for
You
President
look
Trump?
at the legislation we put on his desk, it's to cut Arizona
It
taxes.
sounds like she is proud of her support
I'm
for
proud to be
President
fighting
Trump.
for Arizona. The question is, why was he just wanting to support Bernie Sanders?
Is he trying to support Bernie
Are you
Sanders?
proud
Fuck off.
Your support.
George H.W. Bush would be the last president not to win a second term.
Huh.
Yeah. Yeah, he got Clinton's.
So I actually haven't seen That's fucking funny.
Wow. Yeah.
Sigh. Oh, hey, this before the debates, which, by the way, we will be airing the debates tonight.
We're going to live stream the debate today.
Is adultery no longer a big deal in Indiana and in America? And I'd just love to know your thoughts.
Jesus.
I, for one, believe that the seventh commandment contained in the 10 commandments is still a big deal. It's the most important promise you'll ever make. And holding people accountable to those promises and holding people accountable to respecting the promises that other people make. To me, what could possibly be a bigger deal?
You can do anything. Grab them by the
Okay, so this has got to be from Casey Marion because it's under the So Local Live Network tag,
Go
but
on.
the rumor is about Trump resigning.
What? No. Don't do that. That's not cool, man.
Yeah. Can you imagine growing up and finding out someday that you were a Trump resigned today, baby?
Yeah, I mean, I'm telling you, the show would be over, and I would just be waiting for Babs to get home from work. not gonna front. That's
You
how
know,
that,
reaffirming life. It's
that's how the rest of today would go.
shit. I might get pregnant if Trump resigns.
Fucking, let's get after it. Screw it.
Yeah,
Could you imagine?
I don't know that that's true. He would rather lose than resign.
No,
Losing to him is
it's terrible. Every single time he gets anywhere close to losing, he fucking goes bankrupt and then says it was a win for him. Right? Like every time. He, no matter what he needs to do to play that up, he's going to do that. I mean, maybe Ray's going to come out and say, "Hey, remember how Corey and Greg on Coffee in the Dock said that Trump was a Russian agent? He is. We're arresting him
turns
now."
out he is. Yes,
Turns
peace
out they were right. We were watching, but we couldn't really arrest him yet, so you had to wait.
Yeah.
Or it's
And
the
then
25th. Are
Then
they in
we'll
the
get
cabinet?
to tell you about
What if-
we'll get to tell you about all the secret meetings we had with Christopher Wray to discuss.
It was
this
a
issue.
couple that we had to do. Yeah, lots of interviews. What if it's the 25th Amendment? What if they're like, motherfuckers fucked up? We're gonna put Pence in charge. No pressure. Right before he goes up on stage and makes a fool of himself.
Dave Myers hoping the FBI presser is an announcement of a national security threat against Pence because Miss Harris is going to whoop that ass later.
I mean, that's just true. That yes.
I can't wait.
Honestly-
Although I can't, like, it's not going to be like watching her beat up on Donald Trump would be.
It's going to be like watching her beat up on Kavanaugh, though.
Yeah, yeah.
And if you'll
Be
recall,
be sure of your answer, sir.
that's
There's a shirt, there's a shirt that says that.
awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't feel good for Pence's chances in that fight.
He's got a lot to defend, and Kamala Harris is a great cross-examiner, so that's going to be really interesting. I think she's
Hey,
gonna
you ran the
scalpel him to
coronavirus
death.
task force, right? How do you feel about your top aide basically saying that you're a fucking piece of shit and failing everyone?
Actually, she's been careful not to say that about Mike Pence. What she's been saying is, how is it possible that Mike Pence isn't challenging the president on these asinine,
On the
stupid
day
actions?
that
Yeah.
Mike Pence is making fun of Harris and Biden for wearing masks.
Right.
Fuck Mike Pence. Right?
Yeah.
She might have loyalties or whatever, but like a fuck up's a fuck up,
Yep.
in my clearly humble opinion.
And I think he has that stunned, I wish I was anywhere else but here look all the time anyway. So I think we're getting a lot of shots of Mike Pence tonight, like, know,
It's like,
reeling.
mummy, mummy, mum, mummy. Jenny just
So what
sent
happened
us
with the plexiglass
something.
shield bullshit? They were not going to. The Pence campaign said they were not okay with a plexiglass shield to separate the two candidates. Look, you motherfuckers! What problem do you have with that? It's not going to be really visible, except in some wide shots. It's not an issue. Why would you say no to that? What the hell?
Because it's
Are
an
you hoping-
indictment of Pence.
Are you hoping that Kamala will say, "Well, we're not going to come," because that's not going to happen. She's going to be there and whoop your ass.
Yeah, I
with a
think
mask on.
looking at what happened with Jamie Harris, where he basically brought his own and put it up because we need to defend ourselves from these fucking morons, right? That the entire debate will be seen through a literal lens of Pence's failure. So why would he want that? Right? I mean, it's understandable that they would try to weasel their way out of it, but it's good that they weren't able to.
Yeah, it's admitting that COVID is real. You got a point there.
So this is from I believe Jenny sent us this in the chat. Director former CIA Director John Brennan on Tuesday accused current intelligence chief John Ratcliffe of selectively declassifying documents out of the November election that benefit President Donald Trump, telling CNN that the decision to release materials gathered by the agency on Russian allegations that Hillary Clinton was planning on stirring up a scandal against her Republican rival in 2016 was motivated by politics. Stirring up a scandal. He only had 180 contacts between his campaign and Russia, but yeah, I'm sure Hillary was planning to stir up a scandal. In an interview with CNN's Jake Tapper, Brennan responded to Ratcliffe's recent decision to declassify notes written by the former CIA director in 2016 after he briefed then President Barack Obama on intelligence related to Russia. Blah 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 blah. So this is more of that fucking bullshit they've been doing the whole time, trying to.
Let's not forget who Ratcliffe is. Like, he's one of the people in the impeachment and all the other bullshit that's been carrying water for Trump consistently, and putting him in charge of our national intelligence is one of the most horrific ideas I've ever heard.
Yeah. So this is
Bad.
Brennan. If in fact what the Russians were alleging, that Hillary was trying to highlight the reported connections between Trump and the Russians, if that was accurate, and a big if that's what the Russians were alleging, there's nothing at all illegal about that. In fact, Hillary should have been doing that. If that's like,
what, hey Corey,
Hillary
Corey, if you're in charge of a campaign for president and you're approached by a foreign agent, what should you do?
you call the motherfucking FBI.
Yeah, or the CIA, or both. Of course,
Well,
if you call the FBI,
latter.
the CIA is actually listening. So
It would be the NSA, but seriously, they all share notes. Yeah, I mean, you
Yeah.
call the FBI. I mean, all of this is really, really simple unless you're a Trump
Yep.
supporter.
Yep.
And then it's not.
Yeah, Logic says that he's pissed off so many people in the intelligence community that this would be the time to drive a nail in the coffin of his political career. Hopefully, my crystal ball is not lying to me. Yep, I think that's pretty. I can't imagine that they're not aggravated and acting.
I mean, they've made a mockery of the whole thing.
Yeah, Corey, I hear you. I'm kind of going insane having Trump supporters still on my feed. I mostly don't have them on my feed, but I see them on others, and I just the reasoning for why they're still supporting Trump is just so hollow and shitty. It's because I'm a white supremacist. It's pretty much what it all boils down to.
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, Elizabeth. And also, you just say no when they offer to give you information about your opponent. Not only do you say no, you call the fucking cops on them. That's what you do. Hey.
Oh my god. The latest psycho tweet from this is one of the worst things about being in the crypto space. It's like all these fucking drunk libertarians sometimes like shit like this. Dems want to shut your churches down permanently. Hope you see what is happening. Vote now. This guy in 2019 getting arrested for holding a no social distancing outdoor church service because he fucking should get arrested for that. Fucking clown.
Yeah, Jareen, good local news. The local paper has run some op-eds by Republicans against our QAnon House district candidate. There are something like 35 QAnon subscribing House candidates out there right now.
Did you see Facebook banned QAnon completely?
Yep.
Which, I mean, again, makes sense, right? Like their express view is that all Democrats should be literally executed. So goodbye.
Yeah. Boy, craziness, just craziness. Fear of a Black Planet is behind Trump support. I don't remember who that is. I'm sorry. I feel like I should know that.
I have no
That's a
idea what
reference
that
I
is.
should get. Yeah. Going Kathy Brinkman. Kathy Brinkman. He was in charge of the COVID task force. That's what. That's all she needs to go after Pence on tonight.
Yep.
200,000 American dead. 25% of the dead people in the world
Yeah.
are from here. And
honestly,
how you can
she
possibly
could
think
go-
you could spin that into a good response is mind blowing.
She could go after him, like basically anything that's like a 60-40 issue, right? Which is what Dems have kind of been focusing on, which is smart. Their
Right.
healthcare plan is 2 weeks away. It's been 2 weeks away for 3.5 years, right? That's easily a 60-40, if not a 70-30 issue. The minimum wages. Roe v. Wade is a 60-40 issue, right? And Pence is like way up the fucking wazoo on that. And COVID is 70-30 easy. So yeah,
I want her to ask a specific question about the sorry, let me try that again. I want her to ask a specific question about the therapy that Trump received that is culled from fetal tissue, culled from aborted fetuses. And ask if he approves of the treatment the president received.
I want her
When
to
he
rip
goes,
his arm
"Oh,
off.
we've invested in some really amazing therapies to fight COVID," that's what I want her to come back at him with. So, how do you feel about the aborted fetal tissue that's used in those therapies, Vice President Pence?
You're mean, and I fucking like it.
Yeah. Yes.
So 23 minutes till this thing starts.
Yeah.
Huh?
What are we going to talk about?
Hmm.
Let's see. What else is happening in the world?
What other states? How bad are we doing? Holy shit!
What?
We're still way underwater in South Carolina. So
yeah,
what's his balls? I'm sorry, I can't remember the guy's name who's going after Lindsey Graham.
Jamie Harrison.
Thank you very much for that. Is all I mean, that's a 1-point race right now.
Right.
And there's a 5.3% spread in South Carolina. So that's
I've been trying hard not to say this on the show,
go on.
but I think this could be a bloodbath. I think there could be wins in places no one expected. I think we win the Mississippi and the South Carolina Senate seats. I think we take two away from them in the Deep South, in spite of all the vote fixing since the repeal of the Voting Rights Act. I mean, if they show up for Harrison, right? If voters show up for Harrison, that could drive the top of the ticket. We know there's a down ticket effect where people vote party line, and my mom lost a school board race one time because of the backlash against George H.W. Bush during the Clinton election. She ran as a Republican, which is weird, but she did. And I think it could happen. I think we could see things go that we didn't expect to go. So, okay, yeah, I have too much faith. You're right. I know I do. I have faith in our institutions and in certifying elections and the normality of that. You're right. I do have too much faith in that. But if the election happens and the votes are counted, I think this is a bloodbath.
Yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Like, we were talking about off air. Like, if you just look at the data, it's going to be a bloodbath. And again, we're trained now. Like, oh, don't look at the national polls. I'm not. The national poll is fucking 14.
Right.
14 points. The national poll, like, this thing is over and it's completely over and go fuck yourself. But we know, like, it comes down to the swing states. We know it's the Electoral College, blah, 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 right? And in every single swing state, we're up.
Yep.
Right?
Florida,
and significantly.
Texas.
And we're up a lot more than Hillary Clinton was up.
And by the way, that early voting number that we showed you earlier, Texas and California have not started early voting yet.
Yeah, I mean, the whole idea that Texas is even in play is obscene.
Texas is going to be dependably blue before Florida.
It's not. I'm not sure that's true. 1.4% is Trump's lead in checks notes. Texas.
Wow.
It really will. Like if turnout is as juiced as we believe it could be, and of course turnout could be
the race-
juiced for the Republicans as well, right?
Cornyn Senate race is getting closer too. It's tightening.
Good. That guy sucks.
He's running against a medevac pilot that won all sorts of was awarded all sorts of medals for her military service.
Right.
Yeah.
The very last poll that came out a good month and a bit after the last ones is literally dead even in Texas. And of course, you can't trust one poll, which is why they do the average. But still, that's very interesting to me.
Yep. Yeah. Elizabeth saying Colorado has not sent ballots. Yeah. The reason I bring up Texas and California is because the raw number of voters in those two states is massive. So the voter turnout number that we're seeing now does not include two states with massive population centers. So that's going to be interesting.
Do you want to know how much the spread is in fucking Colorado?
Yeah.
12.5. That's the average.
For who?
Not for Trump.
Really?
Yeah.
Jared Polis has really changed Colorado.
Dude.
Their governor has really changed
how
they see things in Colorado.
Pot should be legal everywhere because apparently it makes people more chill and less shitty.
Yep. MJ Hager is who's running against Cornyn in Texas. Yeah.
Fucking Colorado.
Combat wounded, decorated veteran. Yeah. Doubt her patriotism. Go ahead.
I think we might lose Michigan. Just kidding. 7.6%.
Jeez. Wow. I'm sad that it looks like McConnell is still up. Yeah, and he's going to be so. Because Kentucky's just dumb.
Ooh.
There are smart Kentuckians. I know a number of them, and just not gonna help. So sending money to that race is probably not your best campaign dollar. Send it one of these toss-up Senate races. Send your money there.
Yeah, Corey's talking about the fact there's not going to be as many Democrats going to vote on Election Day, and that's true. But to have the early voting be 10 times as much, so the real question is, will there be higher Democratic turnout than 2016 or lower Democratic turnout than 2016? It's going to be fucking higher.
And independent turnout is also critical here.
Right. Like I think and again, like, who knows, right? I've been wrong, at least once before. But I mean, all the numbers we've seen about Democratic engagement are pretty consistent.
Right. And the other thing is, let's talk about Florida specifically for a minute, because I'm more familiar with this state than any other. Two groups of people vote in large numbers on Election Day. That would be Republicans and people over the age of 65. And if Biden is significantly up among voters over the age of 65, we're going to get more turnout on Election Day than we usually do for Biden. And frankly, if the people that were going to vote for Trump just stay the fuck home and don't vote at all, I'm okay with that outcome too. Them getting discouraged and just not showing up because they feel the fight is already lost and their president is a raving idiot. Okay, stay home. Hope that works out for you. I don't hope it works out for you.
Yeah, kidding. Anyway, so yeah, like, the cautious optimism at this point, especially considering the year that we've had, is not crazy. It's not going to lessen anybody's action, right? Nobody listening to us is going to vote less or, take a break or do something less from that. So I think I'm going to be comfortable just reading the data the way I can actually see it. And right now, there's always the caveats. Who gives a fuck? Right now, just on the data, things are looking quite good.
So yesterday was the last day to vote, or to register to vote in the state of Florida. They had to extend it by a day because guess what? On the last day of registration, the voter registration computer system the state operates broke, as it did in 2018, which is probably a complete coincidence, right? That's absolutely a coincidence. But they extended the deadline by a day. And the reason for the failure is interesting. It was extraordinarily high traffic that broke the system for voter registration on the last day. We've been yelling at people for a year to register, check your registration, make sure you're still registered, make sure you haven't been purged. But the system broke down because of the enormous pressure on it. That's a good sign. People registering to vote on the final day of voter registration. That's a pretty good sign. Good. Florida here. I'm putting that pen to the ballot like a dagger. No, be neat and tidy, be fastidious. A scalpel, not a dagger. Vote like you're performing surgery, a surgical strike on shitheadedness. That's what you need to do. So,
In other news, Hillary Clinton's highest unfavorability rating was in November of 2016 at 52%. Trump is at a consistent 53 to 55. Well, and like Biden has over 51% in national polls. Like that's fucked up. Once you have over 51%, that number starts to get really, really crazy. Anyway, we can talk about something else if you guys want to. I'm just sort of fascinated by this today.
Yeah, I want to talk a little bit about signs and flags.
my.
My neighborhood is just overrun with Trump flags and signs, and that it actually, to me, looking at it, it has an air of desperation. And this is not a data point. This is just my observation locally. The number of people that I have on my friends list who have put up a Biden sign and had it stolen within hours or days. I had them defaced, run over, removed. Signs for other candidates that we love. I put up a Brandy Goyette sign and a Daniel Endino sign, and 2 days later they were gone. And I think what happened was we put our garbage out, and I think somebody pulled them up and put them in the garbage pile. But the point is that our people are not putting up signs because they're getting stolen. And I think people in my community are afraid to pull up or deface Trump signs. By the way, it's a crime to do so, and you shouldn't do that. And I'm not encouraging people to do that. It's shitty behavior. Don't do it. But if you're basing what you think is going to happen on the signs and banners, I think they reek of desperation. I think that it's backlash, and I don't think it's going to have any bearing. I think the new silent majority is angry Republicans and mouthy Democrats. I think we're going to show. Yeah. So there's some speculation in here about has anyone given any thought to why DeSantis stopped the eviction moratorium? Could it be voter suppression, as in low-income people may not have homes for their ballots to arrive to and may be too late to change to the new address? I know somebody that managed to get their address changed within the last 72 hours after having moved out of her prior house. The ballot got delivered and returned, and she had to go to the supervisor's office and fill out a form, and she had a ballot yesterday. So here locally, that's not having a knock-on effect. I can see in counties with election supervisors that are amenable to helping Trump win, that could be a problem. So I don't think that's out of the realm of possibility. Sue says Trump sign, large one on Route 54, was doused with red paint last week. I drove by yesterday. It was taken down. They left the Bill Arrakis sign up that was covered in black paint. Oh man. Yeah. Elizabeth has one taped up high in a window and one nested in some thorny roses. Good. That's awesome. Jarena did a lit drop on Sunday. I set off an alarm at an aggressively Trump decorated house on my block. The house does look desperate. We all know 45 will win here in Oklahoma. Yeah, my street is just overrun with big, huge Trump banners outside people's doors. Just nuts. I think most people voting for Biden are like me, not excited enough about it to put up a yard sign. So I think that's why you see more Trump stuff. Yeah, I'm sad that that's true. I'm not putting one up because I can't afford to get a second one. Frankly, I know who I'm voting for. Everybody I talk to knows who I'm voting for. Everybody I know who knows me doesn't talk to me about their voting for Trump because they know I'm going to tell them they're idiots and assholes, and they're trying to take rights away from my gay friends, my women friends, my friends of color. So fuck you. They know that's the lecture they're going to get from me. So they've stopped talking to me about it, and I'm okay with that. Lelania, I was in Indian Rocks Beach the other day. Lots of Biden support. I was in Micanopy, the little tiny town outside Gainesville where the movie Doc Hollywood was filmed. And there were a shit ton of Biden-Harris signs in Micanopy. It was really surprising to me because that's pretty conservative country up there. Although it is in the same county as as Gainesville, the University of Florida, Alachua County. It was a bit of a surprise to see so much Biden-Harris signage out in little tiny Micanopy. So Corey thought that was my canopy.
Micanopy.
Did you ever see Doc Hollywood, Michael J. Fox movie, where he has a car crash in a remote little town and he gets sentenced to community service? He has to be their town doctor for a month.
I think so. Yeah.
That's Micanopy, Florida, is the little town in that movie.
Okay.
Yep. Hey, thank you, Diane. Appreciate that. I have already voted. Me too. I turned in our ballots yesterday, and Mishi got hers in yesterday. Donna Arbogast, her roommate's turning hers in today. So we're voting like a motherfucker out here.
I think Babs got hers in today too.
Nice. Micanopy is old Florida. I love that little town. I really do. And it's weird. It's a town in the woods. It's not like there's woods outside of town. It's a town built in the woods. It's absolutely gorgeous. Cool place to hang out for a day or buy a house.
Or have a picnic.
It's so cool. Have you ever been there? It's a great day trip from here. It's a lot of fun.
Okay.
Yeah. If you play it right, you can hit that and Cross Creek in the same day. So Cross Creek is where the home of Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings is. She wrote the story that became the movie The Yearling with Gregory Peck. That's she lived in the Florida wilderness for a long time. Yeah, Corey, I'm with you on that. I like and hate Brooksville too. Although I drove around Dade City the other day. Our friend Kelly Smith has moved to Dade City, and if I had to pick one of those little eastern or central Florida towns, Dade City might be my go-to. Yep. I watched Doc Hollywood on my first airplane ride as a kid on the way to Florida, actually. Yep. Yeah, there's another little town in Georgia where they shot a few shots, but overwhelmingly, most of what you see in the movie is Micanopy. Yep. They didn't make you read The Yearling? I guess not. Probably Corey, huh?
No.
It's about a rural family, and the child adopts a baby fawn, a deer, and is trying to raise the deer, and there's all this conflict about wild animals should be wild, and it's not a pet. Anyway, they made a great movie out of it with Gregory Peck. And Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings was part of the Algonquin Circle, that famous circle of writers like Dorothy Parker and F. Scott Fitzgerald and all those people that used to meet every week for lunch at the Algonquin Hotel in New York.
Okay.
And so her husband bought her a home in the wilds of Florida, and her housekeeper was an amazing woman. When I was a kid, they used to take us on field trips to Cross Creek to her house. It's a state park now. And her cook and housekeeper was still giving those tours when I was a kid, like right into the 70s. She was still at the house every day giving tours to people and talking about life out there in the frontier. It's pretty cool. They made a movie about her life called Cross Creek with Mary Steenburgen, played Marjorie Kinnan Rawlings. So that's actually worth checking out too. Blah, blah, blah. I just went off on
a tangent. Dave sent a picture to our group.
Yes.
I'm gonna go look at it right now.
Is it the hand grenade?
I don't know. Oh my god, that's so good though. What the fuck?
Oh, I made a mistake the other day, and I need to talk about it while you're queuing that up. I reported that we had a record number of COVID cases. That article was actually from July, so that was a badly dated article, and I apologize for getting that wrong.
Reports are emerging that Donald Trump's condition is worsening, and he's even been throwing up blood.
Yeah,
that's okay. There's that. Worth seeing. So the video feed is live at the DOJ right now, but there's nothing on it. It's just the picture. And literally all it says is Department of Justice to hold virtual press conference on a matter of national security. Trump is sick and psycho, so we should probably get rid of him right now because nuclear fucking weapons.
Yeah, Corey, I've learned about some of those same type of towns that were here in Pasco. That's correct. There were turpentine camps and farms here. There was a logging community. Yep. There was a railroad that ran from the corner it ran from 41 and came out in Hudson. There's actually a photograph on the 5a.org website of a train sitting over Salt Marsh, just a little bit north of Hudson Beach, which is crazy. I had no idea that a railroad ran all the way out to the coast there, and I just saw a picture of that a few years back. Pretty cool.
Indeed.
Yeah, Corey, have you noticed when you drive around out there, Shady Hills, how many peach trees you see? Like you see old fallow peach trees. There used to be a few commercial peach orchards in Shady Hills, Hudson, which I learned when I was a kid. And you can still find peach trees around, matter of fact. But his doctor said this morning he had no symptoms. Herman Cain reported feeling really good, too.
Yep. Steroids. Yeehaw.
I'm fine. Everything's great. Doctor says I'm doing wonderful. And then he started tweeting from beyond the grave.
Oh, shit. September 28th. This is from Vote Vets. Actually, I'm going to show it to you for effect.
Yep.
Boink. Boink. Last night, we recognized our Gold Star families with the moving candlelight ceremony. To remember those taken from us too soon. Thank you to our Gold Star families, blah, 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 blah. Except for that one, of course, that my husband made fun of because he's a fucking piece of shit. Anyway, that was September 28th when Trump was fucking infected.
So he's infecting Gold Star families, or potentially.
Very likely. So vote Vets. If any of these families have contracted COVID, we will never forgive those involved in bringing them in to be infected when they've already shouldered the heaviest of burdens for this country. From Vote Vets. And I mean, not if. It's effectively certain.
Wow.
There you go. Sue said, I love getting this. Florida history makes me appreciate living here a little more. There you go. I always wonder about how Greg's rants about Florida small towns will be received. And the answer is well.
And with enthusiasm.
Cordially.
Corey's been saying for a while I should do a history podcast. I should do a Florida history podcast.
And like that, because you toss the idea around. Anyone who's ever taken a drive with Greg anywhere 25 miles outside of Hudson, you're gonna get a history lesson. So I think like actually driving to places until Greg starts talking, and then just stop the car and record some, take a few pictures, let him rant his ass off. I think there would be a very, very decent niche market for that. Anyway.
Good call on that, Elizabeth Woods. So do we all agree that? Oh no, I'm sorry, from Deb Marcotte. That's also a good. I'm sorry. So do we all agree that Trump knew he was positive earlier than stated? Yes. And Deb, that's why he said Hope Hicks got it from hugging the military.
Was
she at that event? I didn't see her in the pictures, but I'll bet she was.
Sure, she was.
Wow, you guys like the idea of a history podcast?
I'm telling you, man. Like, and what is one of the top 5 most enduring podcasts of all time? And he puts out like 2 a year.
Right.
Hardcore history all day.
That's Dan Carlin, right? Is that who that is?
Yeah.
Florida history podcast could be pretty interesting.
I mean, there's a lot of fucking old people that would eat that shit up. And Dave Myers. So
a lot of old people. Fuck off.
What? I'm practically self-identifying as an old person at this point.
I could be the next Rick Steves.
I don't know what that is.
He's the guy that does all the tours of Europe, where he talks about he's a travel guy, PBS travel shows. Hyacinth fan here. You can Florida history all day. Carl Hyacinth is my hero. Yeah. Corey, have you ever read any of his stuff?
No.
Oh man, you should pick one up. He actually used to be a crime beat writer for the Miami Herald, and he writes books that are the nickname Skink Tyree is a Carl Hyacinth character.
Okay. Yeah,
so,
you've told me about this.
They're hilarious. The books are really great.
1 million times.
Yeah. Double Whammy and Tourist Season are probably the 2 you should start with. Those are both pretty good. Yeah, random. Greg, do you know what house is all about on 98 that has all kinds of strange yard decorations? I don't. I drive by that place occasionally because I like to go out that way when we go on long country drives. Gregory Smith, who's on my my Facebook friends list, he stopped there a few times to take photographs, so he might know more about that if you message him. But I don't know anything about the history of that house with all the weird yard decorations. They've got all sorts of strange like masonry, like poured concrete structures out there. It's pretty crazy. Pot smoking travel guide. Yeah. I'll tell you who I would enlist if I was going to do that, Corey Elko, locally would be Jeff Miller, who was a teacher at Gulf High School for decades and is involved with the West Pasco Historical Society and a radio broadcaster. That's how I met him. He was the engineer at WGUL when I worked there many thousands of years ago. So I would definitely enlist Jeff Miller for help with a podcast about that. Nothing yet, just a splash yet. Yeah.
Yep.
Dang. Jesus is saying, Jareen, I was in Platte County the other day. It is divided. Believe it or not, I even saw farmlands signs for Biden there. Yeah. Corey, Jeff Miller was scary when I was working in broadcasting. I was pretty new to it, and he was the station engineer and had the power to hire and fire idiots who did things wrong on the overnight shifts. So I was always terrified when Jeff Miller came to work because he was going to find something I'd done that was wrong, and I would lose my job. It turns out he just has an incredibly dry sense of humor, and is actually a pretty funny guy. So he was working at WGUL one day during a presidential campaign, and Jimmy Carter just walked in and sat down and did an hour interview at a local radio station when he was running for president. He just showed up with a Secret Service detail and, hey, can we go on the air and talk about my campaign? And he did. So that's a pretty cool story about locally. Yeah, Dave, I think you're right about that. It's just going to be about ISIS detainees. Don't get too excited.
Maybe.
Yep.
And I'm not. We can always pull shoot on it if we're bored.
Yeah, dip out of it if it's. I mean, how weird is it that ISIS is the least interesting thing it could be about?
ISIS was the least interesting thing about when they first came up.
Yep.
Like statistically, it's easier to get hit by a car by a factor of 10 times. No,
Yep.
I think it was like 1,000 times, some stupid number. It just, fuck you. I don't give a shit about that stuff. Up until the point where they're killing civilians. And as long as they're the people that are killing the most civilians on Earth, fine, let's do that. Otherwise, let's look elsewhere. And it's always been elsewhere.
Right. Yes, Corey Elko, that was when they were on US 19 at the corner of Avery and US 19, which is where I first worked at WGUL in the 80s. That's exactly right.
Anyways.
Yeah. I just love this. Anybody's interested in local radio history. Good Lord.
Nerd.
Those were days.
Nerd.
I was into ISIS when they were still ISIL before they were cool.
Sigh.
Yeah, Jesus, off topic here in Kansas City. We get all 4 seasons of the year in one day. We'll go from 40 to 90 within hours. Yeah, we had fall. It was 3 days ago. We're back to summer now.
Still nothing on this. Is this playing? Is this thing on? I'm going to try and do this.
Still nothing. Jareen, aside, this baby has its feet up over its head. It's kicking me like crazy. It's so weird. I can feel it more now that I have seen footage of what it's doing in there.
Good morning. I'm joined today by FBI Director Chris Wray, the U.S. Attorney for the Eastern District of Virginia, Zach Terwilliger, and the Acting Assistant Director in charge of the Washington Field Office, James Dawson. We are here to announce the indictment of Alexander Cote and Al-Shafi al-Sheikh. Cote and al-Sheikh were members of the notoriously brutal ISIS hostage-taking cell that became known as the Beatles, a name their captives gave to them because of their British accents. The defendants are charged with terrorism offenses related to hostage-taking and killing of 4 Americans, as well as citizens of Great Britain and Japan. For over a year, Cote and al-Sheikh were held in Iraq by the U.S. military under the law of armed conflict. I'm pleased to confirm that they are now in FBI custody and will soon appear in federal court in the Eastern District of Virginia. Today is a good day, but it is also a solemn one. Today, we remember the 4 innocent Americans whose lives were taken by ISIS.
Anyone super interested in this? Mostly Greg, I'm asking you. Is this thing on? Check 1, 2. Was this thing on before?
I had my mic muted. Sorry.
Hello. Oh, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I got you now.
Okay, cool. Yeah. Does anyone care? Do you guys want me to keep playing this? Because
No.
I don't really care. All right, cool. Yeah. Yawn and a couple of Nas. All right, cool beans. Yeah, let's go chill out, go relax. Message somebody who hasn't voted yet. Yeah. Good call. Yeah, Dave nailed it.
Yeah, we can always watch and catch up, and we'll talk about whatever they say that if it's important.
Yeah,
on,
if it's interesting, we'll bring it up.
Yep.
Dave does not give a solitary shit. Or a plural shit.
All right.
All right, man. You guys rule.
Things have gotten so fucked up that that ISIS is yawn worthy.
I mean, again, they always were, but now they're like 10x that.
Yep.
All
right,
right,
yeah, I'm gonna
are
go
they a threat to democracy, Greg? No, they're fucking not. So
No, they are not an existential threat and never were.
you know who kills more people than ISIS in America? Fucking Nazis.
Yep.
So yeah, fuck this shit.
All right, so yeah, we are coming back tonight. I believe the debate is at 9:00.
Yeah, you want to do 8:30 again and do a little
Yeah,
pregame?
we'll do a little pregame from 8:30 on, and we'll live stream it. And I will not yell at the TV.
I am not at all making that promise.
that promise.
unless Her Majesty Miss Kamala Harris is speaking, and then I will be shutting the actual fuck up.
Right. All right.
Pence gets no love from me.
Yeah. Well, he doesn't get any love from me either, but it's
Or
important.
respect.
So I think sometimes that we actually hear what the fuck is happening. So
Yeah. If he lies, I'm
Uh,
gonna yell bullshit really loud.
Linnea says she thought it was at 7. Let's make sure we don't have our
I checked
time.
this morning. It's at 9.
It's at 9. Okay, so we're gonna be here at 8:30 or so. We'll live stream. We'll chit chat for a half hour. Then we'll carry the debate. And I like getting right off as soon as we can after the debate is over, so we can listen to experts take a swing at understanding what happened.
I kind of dug just playing Rachel through, which I might do.
Right on.
If people want to hang out for that, they can. If they want to go watch somewhere else, they can do that.
Dave says I will be on for the first 15 minutes espousing my love for Ms. Harris. And we know that about him.
And it's of your opinions, that is one of the more reasonable. No, most opinions are good.
All right, so we're back at 9. I got some work stuff to do today, but for right now, the couch is calling me. I think I'm going to go
Do it up,
park my
Buttercup.
ass on the couch and hang out. All right.
Cool. I like it.
We love you guys very much. Thanks for hanging on with us this extra time to see if something interesting was going to happen at the press conference. And Sasquatch is real.